Hello, everyone, and welcome back to West Ham Reunited. Hope you're all keeping safe and well. Today's video is it's all about what will become one of the biggest moments in West Ham's recent history, because Daniel Kretinsky is set to become the club's largest shareholder. Now, ownership stories ain't always the most exciting topic in football, but trust me, this is for the West Ham fan base, because what happens off the pitch can often make a huge impact what is on it. So let's get into it. As many of you will know, that Daniel Kretinsky first invested in West Ham back in 2021, which seems such a long time away. Since then, he's largely stayed in the back seat whilst David Sullivan remained leading figure of the club. But now it's changing. Kretinsky is increasing his stake in West Ham to around 43%, making him the club's largest shareholder, taking the percentage from the Gold family. And naturally, that's got fans asking one question: what actually does that mean for West Ham United? Well, coming back off the relegation, the questions about the squad, questions about recruitment, question about the finances, and most of all, how are we going to be run like a proper football club, including the director of football? Now, one of the most positive things comes to the club's recent statement is the clear message from Vanessa Gold and Daniel Kretinsky. They've spoken about supporting Nuno, and and they've and they've also spoken about keeping key players where possible. And that's a big thing, as I mentioned in my first video, the likes of Jared Bowen, if we can keep hold of Tati. And for me, that's exactly what we wanted to hear. Because to be honest, when the club gets relegated, the fear is always the same. Best players leave, the squad gets broken up, the club starts cutting costs, and then suddenly getting promoted seems a lot harder. We've seen it happen to plenty of clubs before, and obviously we experienced that back in 2003 when we got relegated, not returning back straight away. But the message coming from the West Ham seems to be very different. The aim appears to be keeping a strong core and building the squad capable to return straight back. Now, before anyone gets too excited, it's important to reminder that becoming the largest shareholder doesn't mean Daniel Kretinsky suddenly owns West Ham outright, but it does mean the influence is growing and potentially growing significantly. Now, before anyone asks, no, I don't think it'll be lining up as centre back next season, which we probably might need. But if you look at the other video, we are linked with a lot of players. But jokes aside, this feels like a significant moment because actions speak louder than words. We've all heard promises before, especially from David Sullivan, but every football owner promises ambition. Every club owner talks about the future. What most importantly, they're thinking about the fans. As we know, the Championship is one of the toughest leagues, but I think with the back end and this news, we can definitely progress, because I think the summer's going to be key. Will they invest? I believe that Daniel Kretinsky will invest a lot of his old money, which also means that David Sullivan's shares become diluted. So that can really help us. It's not just about the percentages; it's about the leadership and the club being run right. If West Ham can keep this squad together, I believe that we'll have huge strides and become a force in the Championship. If anyone else wants to add anything else, then feel free. But for me, this is a huge statement, and I think it's. I think from what I remember, I think there's about 35,000, but I think it's getting close to 45,000 season ticket holders who have renewed. I have been a season ticket holder for a number of years, but my last game was Leverkusen at home, but I'm still a season ticket holder. I choose not to go. But now this news about Kretinsky, the club being run right, I think a lot of old fans will also return. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it. As I mentioned, you'll see the uh, video earlier about one acquisition who I reckon we're going to get is Dal Fry, and I think more will come soon. Everyone, thanks very much for listening. This is just another brief introduction on how I reckon it will work. Let me know in the comments below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. One thing left to say: come on, you Irons.